Hi everyone. Today we're going to continue with our Natural Disasters Module 3. We will continue reading the text Hurricanes, the Science Behind Killer Storms by Alvin and Virginia Silverstein and Laura Silverstein Nunn. Our learning target for today is I can use context to clarify meaning of unfamiliar words and phrases. So that means that we're going to look at the text to try and figure out what a specific word might mean. This really pertains to content area words a lot of times. We can use context clues to help us with lots of different vocabulary, but in particular, content area words we sometimes have to figure out as we're reading them. So content area words are specific to an area of study. For example, science or math or social studies. And they can get more and more specific as you get into a more specific topic. Content area words are often in boldface. They might appear in visuals such as diagrams. So for example, if we're looking at a picture of a flower, these are really specific words that you don't necessarily come across all of unless you're talking about scientifically identifying a flower. We might hear the word petal and stem, but we're probably not going to be talking about the anther or the stamen or the sepal of a flower unless you're really talking about a scientific text. For example, for math, we could hear some fractions have common denominators. So we would only be talking about denominators if we're referring to math. The world has imaginary lines of latitude and longitude. So those would be examples of social studies words. Sometimes there are different uses of a common word. So we have iris and pupil. So an iris is a type of flower, a pupil is a student. But when we're talking about a content-specific word, an iris, we could be talking about parts of an eye. So the iris would be the colored portion of your eye. And the pupil is the black spot in the middle of your eye that can shrink and grow based on the amount of light that is coming toward you. So we would need to know the context of the words to be able to understand. Are we talking about the flower or are we talking about your eyeball? So as we read today, our goal is going to be to think about the words that we come across and how can we use context to help us understand them. When a hurricane hits, every year, 80 to 100 tropical storms develop around the world. About 40 to 60 of them get strong enough to become hurricanes, typhoons, or cyclones. And only a few of those ever reach places where people live. More hurricanes hit some regions than others. In the Northwest Pacific Ocean, for example, an average of 28 tropical storms occur each year, 19 of them becoming typhoons. In the Atlantic Ocean, however, an average of only 10 tropical storms develop every year, and 6 of them become hurricanes. Over a 3-year period, the United States coast gets hit an average of 5 times by hurricanes, and 2 of them are major hurricanes. When a hurricane hits land, no matter where, the effect can be disastrous. Whipping winds. Hurricane winds are extremely powerful. Out at sea, the winds can blow up to 200 miles per hour. Although a hurricane loses energy when it moves over land, the winds still cause a lot of damage. Strong gusts of wind rip huge trees out of the ground. They toss cars and people through the air. The wind can even turn small objects, such as a road sign or a lawn chair, into deadly flying missiles. Hurricanes are especially destructive when they hit an area where many people live. Hurricane Andrew, for example, had winds of 165 miles per hour when it reached the coast of southern Florida in 1992. It passed through an area of South Miami that was filled with homes and businesses. Many of the buildings there were mobile homes, which do not weigh as much as houses. They are also not well anchored to the ground. In some communities, more than 90% of mobile homes were completely destroyed. In 1992, Hurricane Andrew caused massive destruction in southern Florida. Hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses were damaged or destroyed. Storm surges. Even though a hurricane's winds are dangerous, people are more likely to die from a storm surge. The winds of the storm push ocean waters toward the shore, forming a huge wave. The low air pressure also lifts the water, raising the level even higher. These forces combine with the normal ocean tides, forming a huge wall of water. Many hurricanes have produced storm surges more than 20 feet high. The surging water smashes into buildings and washes out roads. The storm surge may also wash away beaches and remove the soil around the foundations of houses. Heavy rains. Hurricanes can cause serious flooding even without a storm surge. Their rain bands can dump 10 to 15 inches of rain in a 24-hour period. Bigger storms bring heavier rains, up to 20 inches or more. Such huge amounts of rainfall in a short amount of time can flood entire communities. Heavy rains can also cause mudslides. Rain mixes with the soil on mountains and hillsides and forms mud. The mud flows downhill. Rocks break free, adding to the mixture. As the mudslide rushes down the mountain, it rips out trees and carries away houses. Down below, it buries everything in mud. Hurricane Mitch killed more than 10,000 people in 1998 due to mudslides caused by heavy rains. When Hurricane Floyd came toward land in September of 1999, its storm surge collapsed this pier at Daytona Beach, Florida. Tornadoes. Hurricanes can also bring tornadoes. These are small but very powerful storms. The winds of a tornado or twister rapidly swirl around in a tall cloud that is funnel-shaped. Some hurricanes do not produce any tornadoes. Others spawn or form many of them. Hurricane Katrina, for example, produced 62 tornadoes. The tornadoes that come with hurricanes are not usually as powerful as those that form during thunderstorms in the Midwestern states. What's the damage? Scientists use the Saffir-Thompson Hurricane Scale to rank the strength of the hurricane. The scale rates a hurricane from Category 1, least powerful, to Category 5, most destructive. The rating is based on average wind speed. Each category also indicates the level of storm surge and how much damage scientists think the hurricane will do. Hurricanes in Category 3, 4, and 5 are considered major hurricanes. They can cause widespread damage to property, severe inland flooding, and significant loss of life. Hurricanes can change categories as they gain or lose strength. That is what happened with Hurricane Katrina. Over the Gulf of Mexico, Katrina had become a Category 5, but it was down to Category 3 by the time it reached the Louisiana-Mississippi border as it moved inland. Are hurricanes getting worse? Some studies have shown that the number of Category 4 and 5 hurricanes has increased worldwide since the 1980s. Many scientists believe this increase in severe storms is due to global warming. They think our planet has been getting warmer. Since a warmer planet means warmer oceans, storms have become more powerful. Other scientists have a different idea as to why strong hurricanes have been recorded. They think that scientists have just gotten better at detecting and tracking hurricanes. Because technology has become so advanced, scientists can track hurricanes better and warn people in advance. So if we look at this image, it says the Saffir-Simpson hurricane scale. Category 1 hurricanes have a wind speed of between 74 and 95 miles per hour. They can create a storm surge of 4 to 5 feet. And for the damages, there's some flooding, little or no damage to building structures. Then if we skip over and look at a Category 3 hurricane, their wind speeds are between 111 and 130 miles per hour. They can create storm surges of between 9 to 12 feet. They can cause damage to house structures, mobile homes destroyed, and severe flooding. And then if we look at a Category 5 hurricane, it means that they have wind speeds of greater than 155 miles per hour, and they can create storm surges of greater than 18 feet. And the damages that they cause are severe flooding farther inland, all trees and shrubs blown down, mobile homes destroyed, and serious damage to building and house structures.